welcome to Tarmac. I'm Dave.
I'm Matthew, and behind us is a familiar but unfamiliar looking thing, because this is the new BMW 5 Series, but it's not as you know it.
That's right, it is the 5 Series, but it also now comes with an electrical heart and an M badge. Come, let's take a look at this. The early 1970s was an interesting time for both BMW and also Germany, or in particular Munich. The Olympic Games was held there, and BMW decided in their infinite wisdom to launch their first electric car at the same time, and that actually led the parade through town. It was a very small battery and also only had around about 30 kilometers range. Also at the same time, the iconic 5 Series was actually launched, so therefore that's skipped 50 years forward, and this is what electric and 5 have come together with. So what you have is this monster of a car, and also, as I say, you've now got the M badge stuck on it as well, and all the engineering and things like that. Looking around this car up front, what they've done for the kidney grills, they now have them as an iconic glow. So if I can show you that, so that all now comes out. Big M badge as far as that goes, plenty of venting, which actually gives the whole car, once you sort of get the aerodynamics down, a drag coefficient of 0.23. And also look at these new headlights. These here mimic this. So there, looks great. Overseas there are a number of models for this new electric 5 Series, but New Zealand's bringing in just one. But don't panic, it is the top of the range. It is the M60, so it comes with all the fruit. Looking around it, what you have is the M940s as far as the wheels go, and these are very sleek and very M-ified. I don't know what that means, but there you go. You have the M badge. This one also comes with the carbon package, so you have all these mirror caps are carbon. The door handles are very sleek, and also when you open up, you'll actually see there's a 5 up here, just in case you forget when you're getting what car you've got to. As you come further back down here, the Hofmeister King has a 5 on it as well. So there you go, you cannot forget what car it is. And these wheels, again, because this is the top spec, these are rear wheel steering, so you actually great for tight spaces, and also gives it more of a road hug when you are really giving it the beans, and you'll want to give it the beans. Now the roof itself is a big panoramic one, and Matthew will show you more of that inside, but all the privacy glass, which is very dark, matches really well, or contrasts really well with the tanzanite blue, which is the color of the vehicle we have here. Just a slither of a boot spoiler here, again in carbon. And look at these lights. I'll see if I can show you here. Look, they're very wide and very bright, and look at that. So look, very fetching, really enhance the rear end here. Open the boot, you've got 490 litres of, I don't know, space to put your golf clubs and all that sort of stuff, and a nice big diffuser on the back here as well. So lots going on in the rear. Let's see what powers this. Behind this flap here, you have the charging points, AC and DC, for the 84 kilowatt hour battery that, when fully charges, up for around about 516 kilometers of range. Not if you're putting your foot down, because what you've got is 2 motors on here, and combined they give you 442 kilowatts of power and 840 newton meters of torque. That is a lot. 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. So this is not your normal executive motor. It's bloody fast. Well, it's what you'd expect for an M car, right? Anyway, speaking of things that have come with a big M, Matthew's inside, and he'll show you what's going on in there.
Now, I'm not sure if Dave's big M comment was a reflection of me as I am now, or possibly the large sort of size that this 5 Series has grown to, but let's go with the latter option. And yes, it looks large from the outside, as Dave covered. Dimensionally, it is a large car, and that sort of feeling of space is very much reflected on the inside over here. I mean, we've had 3 people, Harry back there, and there's been no issue of space at all for anyone, be it front or back. Knees, legs, all of that stuff is absolutely fine, as is headroom, even with that massive glass panoramic roof that goes across the top over there. As this is a 5 Series, the other thing that's of importance is comfort and luxury, and this does deliver those very well. Now, thus far in New Zealand, we've got 3 or 4 different leather options for the interior. As you can see here, this is the darker option, and you do have these lovely leather seats with some perforations in there, as well as dual tone sort of upholstery. There is also a vegan leather option in this generation of the, in this particular i5. You can get the vegan leather interior, which then does away with the leather, apart from still keeping a leather steering wheel. As it is a 5 Series, material use is really good all around. You get soft touch stuff up the top there, as opposed to a little bit of less soft stuff down the bottom, but no real hard plastics anywhere, which is always a plus. The other thing is, as you saw on the outside, it does come with that carbon package, which included the mirrors, the rear spoiler, and then on the inside you do get this sort of carbon panel right across the dashboard here, and it flows onto the doors as well. So that feels rather nice too, and looks rather especially nice. You do also get plenty of LED ambient lighting, again stretching all across the dashboard onto the doors on either side, which also feature these Bowers & Wilkins speakers, which again comes as part of this top spec i5 M60. In terms of practicalities, you've got decent sized door bins all around. You've got a bit of a storage space in the middle here, not too generous, but just enough. You've got 2 bottle holders here and 2 phone holders down the middle here, one with a wireless charger and one with no wireless charger. And in fact, it's just got a little rubber notch that just lifts the phone above the wireless charging pad if you don't want to use the charging facilities on offer. I got to remark about the size of the key as well, because it's rather quite large, as you can see there, and of course has those M colors on it, just to remind you that this is not just an M, sort of fake M badged 5 Series. This is a proper M car, and it looks like one, drives like one, and feels like one, according to BMW's website. The real control center of this i5 is in the middle here, as you can see, probably from the glint in all of the crystal. You've got this sort of iDrive dial here, which is crystallized. You've got this gear selector here, the start-stop button, and the volume rocker, all feature a crystal element to them. And you've also got these touch capacitive buttons to change various settings and things on that infotainment screen. Now, before I sort of go into this infotainment screen, I want to just fire this thing up for you and just listen to the noise it makes. How about that? That's a way to tell you the car is now on. As you can see, the infotainment screen came to life, and this is sort of the home configuration that we've had it in. So you've got the maps on one side over there, you've got your My BMW here with a graph of your i5, notice in Tanzanite blue as well, so how about that for detail. You can flick through the different menus. As you can see up there, you've got a few shortcuts as well, but the real magic with this screen is in the app drawer here. Now, as you can see, there's just so much of stuff in this car, in this infotainment screen specifically, right from heaps and heaps of games via the Egg Console Games app. You've also got the connected drive store, of course, from BMW. You've got obviously where you subscribe to various things. If I head back there, you've got your interior camera, which does take selfies, and we will show you that later on. In fact, I might as well show you now where, as you can see, the position of the camera is up there, and it's a wide angle lens. You can spot Harry in the back there filming, and this is what the photos look like when you do take them. So there's one that we took earlier on a drive. As you can see there, Dave very enthusiastically looking once he spotted the position of the camera. Anyway, if I head back there, you can see it's got a drive recorder as well. You've also got a live feed from the vehicle cameras when you need it. The 360-degree view, obviously very helpful when navigating through tighter spots. And take a look at that. It's also got YouTube. We do need to install that, but it does have it as an option there. The other one is seat comfort. So if I dive in there, you can actually adjust various different features of the seat from the infotainment screen. So you don't need to use the buttons on the side. It's all there. Now, if you take a look at the instrument cluster, it is currently set up in the exclusive M mode, and that is something that you only get with this i5 M60, just to prove further that it is so much of an M car that they have actually given it an exclusive instrument cluster mode on here. What that brings with it, as you can see there, you've got your speedo on the left and you've got your e-power meter on the right side, which then shows you how much of that power you are using. The other information points in here is the battery percentage that you have on the bottom left, and then your range on the bottom right as well. And then if I take a step back, you've got this really nice leather steering wheel with that central marker there. You've also got stitching all through it, which is in the M colors. You've got a flat bottom and M badge on it. So everything there to show you that this car doesn't just look the M bit, it drives the M bit as well, but Dave will show you that in a little bit. Other thing is the buttons on here. As you can see there, your left side controls your adaptive cruise control, and your right side controls your various audio and sort of phone inputs there. But I really want to draw your attention to this little paddle over there. Now you'll notice there's only one paddle, there's nothing on this side, and it says very enthusiastically boost. So I think I would like to obviously give you a go and show you this, but before we go there, we'll get Harry to show you what the back seat is like.
So here in the back seat, the first thing that you will notice is that while the doors open quite wide, it is a little bit difficult to get in and out just because of how wide the sills are. So there is basically a little bit of jumping in and falling into the car rather than just gracefully making your way to the back. But once you are in here, you will see that the quality of the materials is very, very good. Pretty much the same thing that we see up front with the soft touch materials. And of course, this amazing surround for the Bowers & Wilkins audio system. On the doors, you will also get shades that you can use for both the window that goes all the way down, but also for the smaller part of it back there. And then in here, as you are sitting in inside, one of the big things that will greatly contribute to the comfort is the fact that even in the lowest position, the front seats will not eat the space for your feet. So that's really, really good. In terms of comfort, you will also get not only central vents, but also vents on the pillar that will make it easier to get to the temperature that you want. And you have 4-zone climate control. So each of the passengers on the back will have the ability to choose fan speed, direction of the airflow, and also the temperature for them. In terms of space, as you can see here, there is heaps of knee room and also headroom, even for someone at my height. And the sunroof does not eat into any of that room. So you get a lot of good visibility, or also a lot of comfort. There are 4 USB-C ports, so your devices should be definitely covered, and a armrest that comes from the middle seat that will have 2 cup holders for you as well. So I think it's about time that we take this for a drive.
So in true Scare Matthew tradition, we go into the driving modes, go on sport, which kind of hugs you a little bit more. And this, we're going to be using this boost button or boost pedal, but also all you do is do for your launch control, left foot on the brake, right foot all the way down. It goes like that, and then you go. And it comes with that beautiful Hans Zimmer soundtrack and a face that looks like he's needs to. We need to stop by an underpants thing to get that changed. It is fast. It is very fast.
And the funny thing is, normally with cars like these that have a tendency to throw you into the back of your seat, they tend to fit rather soft headrests because they know this is coming. But funnily enough, with this i5, the back of the headrests are actually softer than the front of it. So BMW almost wants you to be kicked in the back of the head like that.
It's great. Let's get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Visibility is great all the way around. The big mirrors that are iconic mirrors apparently are great. You can see all the way through there. The The headrests in the rear are good, they're not impeding, so all round very good. Steering, I think, is a little bit removed, particularly the road feel. So the steering itself is very positive, but the feeling of what's going on below you is very removed, or probably too removed for my personal liking. And then also the great turning circle by having the four-wheel steer is a real bonus for a vehicle this size. And also the bonus when you're reversing, they've upped the reversing assistance, so you can drive into your garage or up your driveway and then it will reverse back 200 meters now.
Wow, okay, and that's part of, so BMW has both Park Assist Professional and Driving Assist Professional in this i5, and as Dave just mentioned, some of the features that headline those additions to this i5, so quite a bit of technology, not just in the driving experience, but also I think in the entertainment and interactive experience. Obviously this curved unit of two screens, the infotainment and the driving instrument cluster, give you that sort of surround experience, like you are kind of part of the car almost. And the fact that the My Modes menu sort of does almost like an Iron Man sort of sweep across and that sort of thing, it's got a really interesting immersive feel to it, I would say.
It does, and immersive when the world goes past so quickly, when you really are just pushing your foot down. It corners so nicely, it hugs the road very well, and it does feel like a true BMW M car.
It's just missing, I guess, obviously that V8 or V10 note, but that it is an EV and you have to accept that. But it does make, and you would have heard on acceleration, a what would I say, an imposing or intimidating noise almost, that, you know, does, I think, a good enough job of scaring. There you go.
Yeah, outer-worldly, but yeah, like a sinister. It's a sinister soundtrack. Love the feel of the steering wheel in the hand, and the fact of the red marking, making sure that you know where your where your wheels are. The rest of it is so tactile. You know, the stuff is where it should be, and in true BMW driving form. Range-wise, the advertised 500 or whatever it is, you're never going to get that when you're kicking it like I am. But I think once that initial, you know, thrill of getting into it and driving very fast, it does get out of the way, you will get a good amount of range. I mean, I'm down to now 31% and 136 Ks, so it is 400 odd Ks worth of range.
And the interesting thing is, it's not just plenty of range on offer with the battery, but also there's plenty of range on offer with the customization of this car. Obviously, there are several different colors that you can have on the outside. Tanzanite blue that we've got here is a really good one, and probably the one I would pick as well out of the range. You've also got on the inside about three different leather colors and options. You've got 4 different options for wheels, and you've got 5 different trim options as well. And then you add stuff like the carbon package on, and it becomes a real sort of a car that you can customize to your taste, and I think really epitomizes that luxury that the 5 Series has always been known for.
Yep. And the last thing about range is if you are a little bit worried about getting home, if you duck into the efficiency mode, it gives you the option to maximum range. You tap that, you get about an extra 50 kilometers of range, but it does take out your air conditioning and all the fun out of driving, but it does mean that you can really get home. So there you have it, the new BMW i5 xDrive M60, or M60 xDrive, depends on which way you do it. It is an M car, it is a performance car, it is a fast car, and but it still has that executive poshness about it. I love the carbon feel. I love the finishing of it, and just how it. I'm a big fan and have been for 50 years. That just gives you an idea of how old I am.
It's got a 5 badge on it. It's got everything that Dave just mentioned. It's no doubt a large and a heavy car, but it does a really good job to both hide its proportions well and its weight well as shift them incredibly well. It is fast and it will throw you into the back of your seat at very little notice, if that. And it does take selfies on top of all of that too. So, you know, it's I don't know what to say. It's got a wide range of tricks that it can pull out.
Take pictures of people being scared when you go fast. Anyway, thanks for coming along. See you on the next one.